Okay, so for today's tutorial, we are going to be, again, focusing on the loop builder in Divi 5, which is awesome. And we're going to be building out a layout similar to this one, utilizing that loop builder, displaying some posts. And of course, the layout will be available for download on the Divi Engine site, link in the description. Okay, so here I am on just a clean Divi page, ready to rock and roll and start using that loop builder. Now, I've got the latest version of Divi 5 public alpha installed, and make sure you're up to date so you're not running into any unexpected bugs or anything weird like that. I'm going to add a section, and what I want is I want a 3-column section because I want a 3x3 grid essentially of my post. What we need to do here in the first column is to kind of build out that loop card, if you want to call it that, of what will be repeated on the screen as we see here, right? Like this is essentially what we're going to be building out right now. So first things first, we're going to add a image module, right? And we don't need to do anything with that right now. Then we're going to add a meta module, not meta, text module. And it's going to look kind of funky as we add the things in, but don't worry about that. We're going to fix that in a second. Next, we'll add a heading module for the post title. And then we will add another text module for the excerpt that we want to be displayed. And then the last thing we're adding is a button so we can go view the post, of course. Okay, so here's the scaffolding for our layout. And if we look over here, okay, that looks kind of similar. Not really, but it will in a minute. First things first, what do we need to do? Okay, well, we want to make sure that we're able to loop this throughout all the other columns on the page. To do that, you need to make sure that on the actual row itself, that you first enable wrap. So you'll go to the design settings here, you'll go to layout, and then you'll just say enable the wrapping of this throughout the page. Next thing that you need to do is make sure that you go into your first column here, and then the magic of looping is going to happen. And that already looks pretty awesome. Depending on how you're putting this together, you might want to go to design, but under sizing, you can control the size of each of the columns. I'm going to show you something with that in a minute, but let's finish building out our card here. So let's go back to the content and just to this layout. So now that we've activated loop, we can actually start using the dynamic data in Divi 5, where you click the little dynamic data icon here, and now it gives you these options that says loop dynamic content. And of course, we're going to select the featured image, and just like that, it's there. It's awesome. It's so easy to do. Now, I want to quickly just add all the dynamic elements here, and then we'll go about styling it all. So next up is that meta field. And of course, to tell it how to be a meta field is you go to the dynamic content again. And then what you need to go ahead and decide is, okay, well, is it one of these ones? No, not really. I want to go all the way down here. And of course, that's right up here. I'm still lost in the wrong place. So there we go. The loop taxonomy, and here it's going to be the category. That's what I want. So I'll just click apply there. And then we've got the taxonomy in. Next is our post title. So we'll go in the heading module. We'll activate the dynamic data. And this one's nice and easy. Post title, right? So apply that. And then the next thing is the excerpt from the post. So here you can decide a few different things. I'm going to select excerpt, yeah. And then you can go ahead and select the number of words. I find that 15 for this type of layout is pretty good, but you might have a different idea, different approach entirely. That's up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and apply that. And then the last thing we need to do is select our button here. And for the text, we're just going to say read more. And we can go ahead for the link. We go dynamic data again, of course. And now you've got that loop link, which is as easy as pie. Now it will link to those pages. Now I can go ahead and save my work so far, just in case something happens. I don't want to lose what I've done so far. And then when I come on the front end here and I refresh that page, here we can see our loop kind of coming together, you know, like this blog page loop. So if I click on read more, it takes me to that single page. Now we're going to tackle some of the styling things. This is not necessarily so new with Divi 5, but it's always good to see some of the different ways that you can implement. Now, my style is not going to be beautiful or anything like that. I'm not a designer, but you guys have the ability to make this look good. So I'm going to give you the tools that let you get there. So first thing I'm going to do is click here on my category tag here. And for that, we're going to put a background color of, I mean, you can do anything. I'm just going to do red because red is easy to see. And then what I'm going to do is go to the design we're going to go to text, and the text color I'm going to make white just so that you can see that nice and easily. And in the advanced tab, I'm going to do some more stuff in the design tab in a second. I just want to go into position, and then in position, I'm going to say absolute. And then I'm going to say the top right corner absolute. And now you can kind of see how I'm getting it up there. But we still have some work to do. We will go to the design settings again. And now we need to give it a little bit breathing room. So we're going to go ahead and say spacing. And on the spacing, we'll just add some padding for the top and the bottom. 5 pixels should be enough. And then for the left and the right, we can put 10 just to give it a nice little breathing space over there. And we also are going to add some border radius, and that's going to be 15 pixels just for this example. Now, we don't necessarily want it all scooched up in the corner over there, so we can go back to the advanced tab, and here with the absolute positioning, we can actually go offset this by a few pixels. So let's try 10 by 10. Now you can adjust this however you would like to see it, but that is working for me so far. We're doing great. You're doing great. This is awesome. Now, a little bit more styling here just on the heading text. We'll go to heading. We'll make it a H3. I'm not going to do anything fancy with that. I'm just going to leave it as is. But what I do want to give it is a little bit of spacing on each side. So I'm going to go to spacing. And for the padding on the left, I'm going to put 15. I'll just link the left and the right up, and then it's got a little bit of breathing room in there. And next up is the excerpt text. And you already know we're going to go and add some spacing. Same thing, 15 pixels on the left and the right. And then we might even go ahead and give it a bit of a lighter font. So we'll just go here with light, and then maybe give it another couple pixels of size so it's a bit easier to read, but looking good so far. Next up, maybe before I do that, I'll go on my column here. So I'm going to go selected column, the first one that we made the loop, remember earlier? We'll go to design, and what I want to do here is just give it a bit of a border radius, 15 pixels. We'll make it nice and round. And then in addition to that, I want to give it a box shadow so it kind of lifts off the page like that. And this is starting to look pretty okay. Back to our button though. Let's go on this read more button, and let's style it up a little bit and go and give it a background color. You can, again, do what your heart desires. I'm just going to make it blue for simplicity's sake. On the border, now, yeah, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. As you saw in my demo here, I've got this funky round border thing going on. So we'll go ahead and continue doing it that way. So I'm going to keep the border here at 15 at the top left, but I'm going to unhook them, if you will, and just put 0, 0, and then 15 again on the opposite corner. So you can see it's making that curve on both sides. And we will remove the border width because we don't need that. And we want to change the button text color. So we'll do that to just make that white again. There we go. And of course, we need to fix the position. Now you already know that. You guys were paying attention. I go to advanced, I go to position, I say absolute, and I say bottom right, and there it goes right in there. But now we see an obvious problem coming up, right? We've got this button, because it's got an absolute position, overlapping the other modules. So that's easy to fix. We just go on that excerpt text, we go to design, and then we just give it a little bit of margin at the bottom. Let's say 50 pixels should do it. And if you feel like that's still a little bit too tight, maybe you want to do it at 55 pixels. And now it's got a decent amount of breathing space, and we have a layout that's pretty much ready for production site. And what did that take us? Maybe 5 minutes? It's awesome. I am so excited for Divi 5 and what it brings. When I refresh my front end, you can see here are all my posts with the categories in the top right corner, a button that links to the page, and that is awesome and easy. I want to show you one more thing though. Now, on my example here, I've got this just image that's static for the page that could be your category image. It could be whatever you want it to be. But I just want to show you how truly dynamic the loop builder is by going and adjusting our layout that we have here a little bit. So let's select the actual row again. Now I'm going to break some rules, and I'm going to move the second column, which is not being looped, to the first position, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go click on that, and I'm going to adjust the design settings and then size. I'm going to make this take up half the space on the screen. I'm going to modify my grid a little bit. So if I come back here and I select my second column, which is now the one that's being looped, and we know this if we click here, we can see that. And we say design, and we go sizing, and we make it a quarter. And now you can see it does 4 per row. Now I can go then and easily just add an image module, and then drop in my image there. And if I save this and come over to my front end and I refresh, we have a completely different layout, which, is a little bit nicer, I think personally. But, the goal of this is not to teach you how to make the most amazing layouts in the world. It is only to show you the tools to apply your design skills with in Divi 5. And that is how you make a nice modern grid layout for your blog using the loop builder in Divi 5. Good stuff. And I think you're going to build awesome stuff with it. That's going to be it for this one. And there you have it, folks. This was our first episode, tutorial, whatever you want to call it, on how the loop builder will impact your Divi 5 website. Now, some of you might be here thinking, hey, Roby, that's a lot like Divi Machine. Sure, it does have some of the nuances and awesome features that you find in Divi Machine. But of course, Divi Machine is that and so much more, with the ability to create custom post types, to display your categories, do all sorts of other different things with updating things on the same page, doing a lot more. But we are hard at work rebuilding Divi Machine to integrate with Divi 5 and these awesome features. So you're going to have your choice of flavor. Do I use the archive loop module or do I use the loop builder? But you're going to get that Divi Machine flavor in there by being able to extend your queries. We're going to be integrating with other custom field plugins like Toolset, Pods, and much, much more. Divi Machine plus Divi 5 is going to be Divi supremacy. So guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, and definitely go ahead and tell us what you think in the comments. I'm going to be doing a lot more content around Divi 5 and the awesome features that we find in the alpha today and in the future with the beta and the eventual release. So guys, that's going to be it from me, Roby with the Divi Engine team. Thank you for your time. Bye for now.